templates are a wonderful feature in Roam that allows you to repurpose a block or a set of blocks as a repeatable template. Now, it has a lot of use anytime you have a workflow with processes that repeat predictably. I have that in task management. I have that in my knowledge management, Zettelkasten. I have that in meeting types. You may have different meeting types and information that needs to be gathered that related to those specific meetings, and you can have all that set up, ready to go in a template. And you can even use it for saving keystrokes in the simple way like you might use Text Expander or something like that. So you can have a long list of things or a very long word or a specific phrase that you use frequently, and you can have a template set up to just pop that in line wherever you are. So here's how you work in templates. First of all, you need Roam templates. Now, without the ticks, I have the ticks around them here, because if I didn't, this would show up as a template in my Roam. I would have a template name. The name can be a plain text or a reference named template. And so I put the ticks around it there to mark it as code so it wouldn't grab that as a reference. But the format is Roam templates and then the name. And that name can be whatever. It can be plain text. It can be a reference, what have you. And then underneath that, indented, is the content of the template. And so you have it nested here under the template. It can be a single block. It can be multiple blocks. It can be any amount and variety of indentation. It does not matter. As long as it's indented under that template, it's going to show up when you run the template. You can trigger that template by hitting 2 semicolons, and then starting to type the name of the template or simply selecting it from the list that comes up. That template will appear wherever you typed that double semicolon, and then the rest of the template, other blocks and indentation, will appear in the appropriate places relevant to, or excuse me, not relevant, relative to that first block. So this would be the first block of this if this were a template, and so the next block would show up in line as a sibling with that one, and so on and so forth. So, an example here. I have what I called a one-liner template here. And let me just real quick change slightly the way that... don't worry about namespaces at the moment. I just didn't want to mess that up. So you can see Roam templates, and actually I'll display my double brackets as well. In my system here, I actually prefer to not see all the brackets, but there you go. That's there. And you'll notice I have these with the Roam templates after, and up here I had it with Roam templates before. It doesn't matter. As long as Roam templates is referenced in the block, that's the important part. And also, templates can be anywhere. Sometimes people feel like they have to put them on the Roam templates page. You don't have to. As long as Roam templates is referenced in the title line, it will show up correctly. The example of one-liner here, I was giving an example of a text expander use. Say, for instance, I had a character named Charles O'Bannon III in a novel that I was writing, but I generally only wanted to refer to him as Chucky. However, I want to make sure that I'm referencing that character, Charles O'Bannon III, every time that I bring him up, because as I'm planning and outlining and whatever that novel, I want to be able to see all the references to Charles O'Bannon. So I don't want to be typing, one place Charles and another place Chucky and everything. I just want to call him Chucky wherever he shows up. This is a way of doing that, and I can start typing Chucky, and apparently I've done that in a couple places, but you get the idea here. I must have copied that from somewhere. I can do that. I can choose the template from that. You can see, as I said, I've got 2 versions of the same thing here, but they're the same. And I can get that all brought up by just hitting the double semicolons and choosing it from the list. Now, that's a single line version of that. You can also do things where, for instance, you had a simple project setup. So your sample project would have an overview and then a place for tasks and a place for notes. So I could go to here and I could choose sample project. Obviously, I've copied and pasted this whole thing from somewhere because I had 2 versions of that as well. But you'll see it brought that in right where I chose that, where I typed the semicolons. And so what I would do is, if I were on a project page or something like that, let's say I had a new project, and we'll imagine I'm on the page, but for the moment I'll stay here so you can see it just in line. And then I would indent and I would run that sample project template, and now I have underneath there everything that goes with my sample project. So it's obviously this extends. I don't want to belabor the point because I think it's fairly straightforward. It can extend to include as much as you need it to include. You may have 4 different versions of project pages that you have a separate template for each of them, and each one of them may have lines and lines and lines and paragraphs and all kinds of information that you need. It doesn't matter as long as it's all in that template. You can run it all at once, and it will show up for you. They are not they're not dynamic. So a template is a static thing. If you want a level of dynamic control, you can use the SmartBlocks extension, which behave very much like templates, but have commands that go along with them that allow you to do a little bit more dynamic. I don't cover that in the Roman Way because it's an extension to Rome rather than native Rome. But if you find yourself needing to have templates that populate with some, certain things, certain predictable dates or people or things like that you can add, dynamically, smart blocks are a good option for that. Templates are great for things that are the same every time, that are nice and static. I think that makes them really useful for certain types of meeting notes and things like that. But they're fairly straightforward to use. You use those templates for static templates of any complexity, no limit on the number of blocks, references, indentation levels, or anything like that. You simply tag or reference, I guess would be a better word, Rome templates. And then on that same line with that reference, you title that block, the title of the template. And then everything of the template is indented underneath it. And then you can call the template by hitting that 2 semicolons and then begin to search for the name of the template. And as you saw in mine, because apparently I have copied this script somewhere, and that's why I have 2 versions. If you have 2 templates named the same thing, well, they'll show up. Each one will show up in there. They won't collide in any way, so they'll still both run effectively, except they'll collide in your mind because they have the same name. But it's easy enough to go searching for them. If I wanted to go find them both, I could look up sample project Rome templates, and I could look at either one of them. I could open them up and determine which one was the right one, and I could change the title of one of them or simply delete one of them, and that would solve that problem. So if you ever do find yourself accidentally having 2 templates named the same way, just go and find where they are and, change the name or delete the one if you don't need it or whatever that case may be. But templates make for a very powerful way for repeatable processes and for sets of blocks that you use frequently in the course of your work or in the course of some aspect of your life. If this video helped you, click subscribe and check out my Rome courses as well. I have the Roman Way, which is a free course to help you learn the fundamentals of Rome research. I have AP Productivity, which is my flagship Rome course. It is an 8-week live cohort course to help you get important work done in Rome research. I have Powerful Task Management in Rome research, which helps you build a GTD-style setup for task management in Rome. And I have Your Road to Rome, which I'm actually updating in November or December of 2021. And it is a deeper dive than the free course, The Roman Way. It has live masterclasses, Q&A sessions, additional instruction about Rome extensions, especially SmartBlocks and Rome 42, which you can get from romejs.com. And there's a community forum for discussion of new Rome features or help with your workflows. Rome research is an amazing tool, and I want to help you make the most of it in your life and work.